suddenly the way, which is no longer paved, it was really only paved in Troutnook. There's gravel, there's loose rocks.
Dirk's gonna sneeze in a second.
Oh, that's what's happening?
Yeah, just keep
I thought
going.
you were trying to I have an idea. Stop.
So sorry.
How are you doing?
I'm doing really well.
You are?
I'm doing quite well.
Are you ready?
I'm as ready as I'll ever be.
To improvise a full episode of Ironsworn.
Yeah, whether ready or not, things are going to fall out of my mouth, and it's going to happen.
It takes a lot of energy to play and DM your own game, isn't
Ready,
it?
set, here it is. Yeah, but for the folks at home and folks following this adventure, and for the fates of Pim and Dirk,
Yeah, truly.
we owe it to them.
Yeah, absolutely. So, last episode,
Yeah,
Pim and Dirk fled
getting out of Dodge.
Marquis Chim's longhouse while it was being besieged by the Paupers, by Wynn and his merry band of 5 other paupers. There was pandemonium, there was chaos happening, and they realized that they might have some heat on them just from their proximity to Marquis Chim.
And their guilt.
And their guilt.
You know?
And Pim really is not sure whether anyone ID'd her from the kitchen.
Absolutely.
So they go and they flee, still dressed to the nines in their custom tailored bespoke pieces from
Kierna's collection.
Kierna's collection.
Who are you wearing? Kierna's collection.
Yeah.
Pim and Dirk decide to take just kind of refuge at the Stinky Fish Tavern until things hopefully blow over. But unfortunately for them, the chaos in the streets as now the search for the assailants on the gala finds them as guards basically barge in, let everyone know what's just gone down, but thankfully don't identify Pim and Dirk as people of interest.
Yeah.
Or potential suspects.
Precisely, because like I said, they are clearly sticking out like sore thumbs in the Stinky Fish Tavern.
Yeah.
They look incredible,
Yeah,
and they
yeah,
look
yeah.
like they could absolutely afford finer dining.
By the dang place.
By the dang place.
And also, turns out they ran into their old buddies, the band that played with them at the gala, also decided to stop in at the tavern because they just did a gig. They're tired. We find out their name is Deep Think.
Deep Think.
They're a bit of a jam band, math rock kind of outfit.
Yeah.
Jorgen, we start speaking to first. We eventually meet Okoth, Tamara, Kova, and Basira, all members of Deep Think.
Of Deep Think, the band. They realize they need their clothing. They don't have their clothes, nor their weapons.
No.
The only thing that Pim had on her were her daggers. Dirk was short of his spear, so they decide they have to go back to Kierna's to get their stuff.
Luckily, Kierna is there to let them in. They retrieve their things and try to parlay it into a night's rest with a shelter over their head.
Right, and unfortunately, Kierna tries to decline respectfully.
She just got a business. She's not a lodging house.
Right, and Pim had to offer 1 piece of gold as deposit for them to make no commotion.
Sure.
Just go to sleep and be out before Kierna wakes. They wake up at 5 a.m. and they
Free room and board in these Ironlands? Get out of here.
get out of here.
Get your butt out of here.
Trust no one, truly. And in the meanwhile, all night they heard the bugles of the guard desperately trying to find who was responsible for letting the paupers in.
You know, probably their first mistake is all that bugling. Because as soon as I hear one, I run in the opposite. If I'm a pauper and I hear these bugles, I know where the cops are.
It's more like a text alert.
Yeah.
I would say.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. So then it's 5 a.m. The birds are chirping, but the sun is not up. But they have to get out quick because they were ID'd by the guard, but they were not arrested. So we're not sure whether there's heat on them, but they want to, try to get out of hot Troutnook for a second before things get really hot on their tails.
As they start making their way through the streets, they run into
Jor and
again,
Deepthink.
And all of Deepthink on their traveling wagon.
Yeah.
They're a touring band. They're touring out doing gigs, and they were about to get out of Dodge because the town got a little too hot for them as well.
Yeah. They were headed to the flooded lands, and Pim sees an opportunity in this because they're making a gig at the flooded lands and then headed toward the havens, right? Mm-hmm. Great.
Yeah.
So Pim sees opportunity in this but wanted to check with Dirk first, and Dirk seemed like he was on board as well. So they hop on board. Jor gives a whip of the horse, and the caravan starts a very bumpy ride along the ragged coast. And they ask Dirk asks whether they could make a pit stop in Boarwood.
And kind of a non-committal. We'll see if we get to it on the way. If we pass through there, Jor kind of says we could drop you off.
Yeah,
as
he
far
said
as we could take you.
They could drop us off because it is on the way. Let's say.
After a night's rest making camp along the road, we catch up to Pim and Dirk that next morning after their spirits raised a little bit. These guys, Deepthink, good traveling buddies.
Yeah, they're great.
Yeah.
They're super great. Pim even let her hair down a little and was able to join in on the song that they all composed together, and she was able to name it.
Yeah.
And she also was able to tend to the wounds on her hands from the bomb that she detonated.
Cool.
She got +1 health. So I'm back up. All 3 of my stats are at +5.
Great. I'm not there yet, but
you're not
getting there.
You're +3 what? +3 supply.
3 supply, 4 spirit, 4 health.
Okay.
Which our supply is actually +5 now because we share that between the two of us.
That.
Yeah.
Why would I have more supply than you? Oh no, we subtracted supply that I did not.
Oh, okay.
We lost supply because we rolled a weak hit on Undertake a Journey, so
cool.
I have to make that change.
Where are we at? 4?
4.
Rad.
We're at 4.
Rad.
We obviously expended some of our wares. We lost a loot, but the loot was fine. It tumbled out of the caravan.
Dirk shuffles himself awake, kind of a bit more pensive than you're used to seeing him. Ready to get packed up? Ready to go?
Yeah, but you're right there.
Yeah, just kind of the thoughts of passing through home is, I don't know, it's been a while. I haven't been back it's been months.
Months, you say?
Yeah, which is, it's long for me. I'm not used to all this. I typically stick around the deep wilds.
OOC quest. What season is it?
I
think they made camp outside a couple of times.
Sure.
So I think let's say it's what, September?
Yeah.
September.
Cool. Make a note of that. That's good information
September.
to have.
Yeah. I'm just curious to know that. So I'm asking as Pim now.
It's not like last harvest.
We can get fancy if we want.
Or do the Ironlanders have
I want to know how hot is it outside, and will it get hotter or colder as the days progress?
You want real feel.
Real feel.
You're looking for real feel.
Looking for real feel.
Okay, Dirk, well, I now know the mix of their two names is Perm. Dirk checks his smartphone and it says the real feel.
You're killing me. Destroyed, dead. How many months ago would you say it was?
What was?
That you were last home.
A good 5, 6.
I see. So it's springtime like.
Been traveling around through the ragged coast for a good 5, 6 months, stopping at settlement, trying to scratch money together to keep, honestly, searching for ways I could get answers. But here we are, and hopefully, well, I don't know.
Let's get you some answers.
Shall we undertake a journey?
Let's undertake a journey.
We're on 2 out of... We have 2 marks on our progress track getting toward that. So let's see...
We do.
How we do. I'm going to roll plus wit.
Oh, right. I forgot to mark progress.
Dirk sitting up front with Jor.
With Jor.
Traveling the road, trying to use his keen mind Dirk's keen mind to point the way.
Is that a weak hit?
It's a weak hit.
Okay. Weak hit on Undertake a Journey. We reach a waypoint, but we suffer. Oh, yes, suffer -1 supply. Again. Wow, no misses yet. Whew. Thank goodness. So, the day seems like it's going to be clear and slightly crispy. But as the merry band sets off on their travels, it becomes clear that it is going to once again rain.
No.
They progress. Suddenly, the way, which is no longer paved, it was really only paved in Troutnook. There's gravel, there's loose rocks.
Dirk's gonna sneeze in a second.
Oh, that's what's happening?
Yeah, just keep
I thought
going.
you were trying to
No.
I have an idea. Stop.
So sorry. You start to get older, your sneezes get louder.
Pim sneezes so loud that it startles 2 of the band members. And it spooks the horse in such a manner that the cart turns over. All of a sudden, it hits a bump. Dirk sneezes. The horse whinnies and neighs and goes up on its 2 legs. And all of a sudden, the cart is turned sideways along with the horse. There is stuff that goes out of windows and falls off of cliffs.
No!
We -1 supply.
Oh my god. Jor, I'm so sorry. It's getting drier. It's getting so dry.
Penelope, are you okay, little dude? Oh, Penelope. And he's like stroking the horse and getting her back on her feet. All right, everybody, grab the cart on a count of 3. 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3. And then everyone does it in perfect tempo. The cart is back.
Write it again.
However, there are a few things missing. -1 supply. There's some food gone.
Damn it.
There's some water jugs gone.
Damn it.
And Okoth's loot is also missing. What? Where's my loot?
Oh god.
No, it was literally here like 2 seconds ago. Like where?
No, we're good. We're gonna
Like,
okay,
give
me a
all that I
second.
know, bro, is that like you sneezed and then like the horse like couldn't handle it, and then like my loot, which was like next to me, is like gone now.
You're totally right.
So like you need to fix this, or like
I shouldn't have
that loot was like custom made by a luthier like back in the Havens, and like
while I find it a bit unlikely that none of you have ever sneezed before in the presence of each other or a horse on the road, you're right. I gotta make this right.
Hey, it's okay. Listen, guys, it's gonna be okay. Like, I think that we should just like all split up and try to find this loot.
Dirk realizes that he's got Okoth mad at him. One of his heroes, one of his cool dude heroes. He's gonna gather information to try to rummage around for this dang thing.
And Pim's gonna aid your ally.
Okay,
on that
cool.
Because she's gonna help.
Thank you.
It's secure and advantage, right? Is the
Yes.
same role?
Yep.
Okay, great. And she's gonna do it with precision
Cool.
because she's looking. Or observation, actually.
How are
which
you
is
helping me in this moment?
She's just looking as well. She's
Oh, cool.
like, splitting off.
Nice.
While Jor is busy, consoling his horse and making sure she's okay.
Yeah,
Sweet
the
Penelope.
other members of Deep Think are putting things back together in the wagon, repacking.
Precisely. She's going to help you look for this darn loot, which might have dropped off a cliff, honestly. So let's just see.
Okay.
Weak hit. So
Okay, so you'll take
advantage is short-lived.
You'll take +1 momentum, and then I'll go ahead and make my gather information roll.
Yeah. How does that? Instead of you, they can take the benefits of the move, so you can take +1 momentum. Actually,
Oh.
they instead of you can take the benefits of the move.
Would you like the +1 momentum, or would
No,
you like
can
me
take
to have
it.
Ooh,
Because then you
up
can
to
re-roll that dice.
7.
Like if you really want this to work out.
7. Things are looking up. Things are coming up, Dirk.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Weak hit.
What was I?
You're rolling plus wit.
Wit? Oh yeah, weak hit.
Great. No. You're gathering information, right?
Yep.
You're rolling plus wits.
And I don't have the +1 yet, so weak hit.
Okay. That means the information complicates your quest or introduces a new danger. Envision what you discover. Ask the oracle if unsure. And take +1 momentum. So take your momentum.
Oh, man.
Should we ask the oracle? Should we do action and theme? I want this to be like...
On where this loot wound up?
Oh. Well, it has to complicate your quest or introduce a new danger.
Yeah, okay, cool.
If you have something, roll with it.
I don't.
You don't?
No.
You don't? Let's just see. What danger could this?
Cool. I'll roll a number.
Yeah, let's do
23.
23, eh?
Yeah.
Let's do... Let's do this. Oh, 23 you said. Interesting. Yeah, okay.
I just, I'm looking for it.
Dirk, I think I see something in here.
Okay.
Pim has found herself in the entrance of a cave.
Oh.
And the cave is very steep below. But she sees, she really believes she sees the glint of the luggage tag that was on the case of Okath's loot.
Yeah.
Okath had a buffed metal luggage tag that seems to be glinting in the very poor sunlight.
Okay.
And from what she can make out, it is attached to an oblong object. This looks like the loot. This looks like the loot case. And she beckons Dirk over. I think...
Yeah, what's up?
I can't be sure, but I think that's it down there, don't you think?
Something shiny is down there. It looks like it could... We gotta be careful, though. This could be used by some sort of predator as, like, a den or something like that. Just to, like, go running down and grabbing it. I don't know.
Well, let's just shine some light, then. And she takes out of her bandolier some matches.
Cool.
This match is a very simple piece of wood that has some combustible material attached to it. She strikes it on her shoe. It lights, and she throws it down the cavern. And it illuminates as it goes down. And in fact, the loot is down there. But it goes much farther down until it extinguishes from hitting bottom.
So
perhaps.
we see the loot first, and then we see the match continue to fall.
Yeah, let's say we see the loot. It is on a sort of shelf from this cave that is going steeply down, right? But it has somehow lodged itself on a natural shelf made out of the wood. Made out of the cliff, out of the rock, and the match continues to go down.
Okay. Well, good thinking. I see it. I'm gonna try to grab that thing.
And then suddenly we hear a rumbling.
Oh boy.
Coming from deep in the depths of this cavern. Jor says, "What's going on over there, guys?"
Well, I see Okath's loot. We just, maybe we should keep our voices down.
Boom. Boom. We hear footsteps, and we hear a low growl.
Oh boy.
Happening.
Oh boy.
At the bottom.
Oh boy.
Of whatever this cave is. I don't think I should have thrown that match, should I?
We probably woke something up. Probably woke up a creature. Everybody back up. Everybody back up. Get back toward the toward the cart right now.
They all make a break for it, and there's a roar. A massive roar, and Okath goes, "Well, did you see my loot or not?"
Did you just not hear what happened? Yes, we saw it. Let's go.
My loot's there, and then Okath goes toward the mouth of the cave because he desperately wants his loot.
Oh my lord!
And then there's a.
Okay, that sounds like a big.
Do you think it's
Yeah, that's a big predator. That's a big calling on his.
Just pick one out of this.
Yeah.
What is it, Dirk? I don't. What is that sound? You know natural things.
This is a bear. Bear made
It's
this out
a
of
bear?
a bear made this out of made a den out of this.
And then Okath is glued to the opening of this cave. He wants his loot bad.
Yep.
He wants it stat. Okath, get back into the caravan. We've got to go. There's a bear coming, don't you see?
Yeah. Dirk is going to try to make a face danger to quickly... using Wild Blood, leveraging Wild Blood to give him a +1.
Okay.
Using his knowledge of tracking woodcraft or woodland creatures.
Nice.
He's going to try and sprint in to grab this loot and get it out before whatever is inside can come out. And this will be with, I think, speed. I think this has to be speed, agility, and precision. I think this is edge. Yeah, I got to go fast. This bear's coming.
Okay. Do you want me to aid? I don't know if I can aid you.
I don't think so. I don't know what. Yeah, unless you can think of anything specific.
Pim thinks it's a bad idea. She's not going to help you because she's like, we need to go.
Dirk sees that his buddy ain't budging.
No.
And if it's the only thing that's going to get him out of harm's way, he's got to jump in and do it.
Yeah. Weak hit.
Okay. Weak hit.
Okay. And yours was face danger?
Yeah.
Face danger.
Yeah.
Okay. So.
That was a 3 versus a 1 and an 8.
Yeah. So.
I face a troublesome cost.
Oh. Okay. Great. Beep, boop, boop, boop. Here you are. Okay. You succeed, but face a troublesome cost. Choose one. You're delayed, you're tired or hurt, you're dispirited, you sacrifice resources. How do you want to play this out for yourself? How do you approach it?
Dirk makes a mad dash for the loot that is down a shelf down the cave. He runs past Okath and his kind of eagerness to go get the loot.
Yeah.
Dropping down to the second shelf, he goes to grab the loot, but it is a kind of damp cave on the inside. Loses his footing, but is able to still grab the loot. He's now just with loot in hand, kind of a bit of a mess. He's slipped onto his butt, but he's got the loot. He's on the shelf. He suffers -1 momentum.
Okay.
Because that didn't go terrific. But as he's holding the loot and kind of sitting on the cave shelf, you hear just a...
So you
As
are...
Dirk is just kind of like, oh, crap.
You are delayed, lose advantage, or face a new danger. So let's say that Dirk makes it out, okay? He finds his way out. Pim grabs her hand. He takes Pim's hand. She grabs Okath because she's not able to hoist all 6'2".
Yeah, and with Okath grabbing the loot, first thing, the love of his life, his instrument, he's now making a beeline for the wagon.
Oh, I was going to say that before he makes a beeline, Pim grabs him for leverage so that she can actually hoist Dirk up because she is significantly shorter than him. She hoists him up with all her might, using Okath as her anchor.
Beefcake Pim.
Yeah,
let's go.
She's pretty beefy. And grabs him up, but... all of a sudden, as they tumble like an avalanche at the mouth of this cave, they see the bear's head come up and surface. Sees us.
Stands up on its hind legs. Mama bear.
What do we do? Are we going to fight this or are we going to leave? What do we do?
I've
never outrun a bear before in my life.
Dirk's gonna leverage animal kin.
Oh?
And he is going to try and pacify this bear.
Great.
With a... This would be... pacifying, would that be... It's not an intelligent creature, so it's not a compel.
Okay.
So he's facing danger. This is something risky.
Yeah. So you're going to do it with charm?
He's going to try and make himself big and be... kind of...
Oh, you're going to threaten him?
Threatening.
Okay, great.
Toward this mama bear.
So that's plus iron.
To ward mama bear off while you guys have enough time to make their escape.
Yeah. That, I would say, is iron. It's aggressive action, forceful defense, strength, or endurance. But you're trying to threaten, right? So deception, stealth, or trickery?
Pim, the most important thing when being... when a wild predator is trying to face off against you is to get big.
Get big?
If I can request to you
Yes.
to secure an advantage, I want Pim to get on my shoulders right now.
Okay.
And we're going to get big.
We're going to get big.
We're going to get big.
Pim gets on his, or attempts to get on his shoulders.
Scramble up.
Here she goes. She's going to do it with, I guess, agility. Or, no, that's going to be, oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah, agility.
Yeah,
plus
probably.
edge. Oh, that was cocked. Hold on one sec.
Yep.
Here we go. That is a strong hit.
Strong hit. Nice.
Strong hit.
So I can add +1 to this next roll.
Oh, wait. +3. No, it's a weak hit. Sorry.
Weak hit. Okay, so I'll take, would you like the momentum as a result of that? Weak hit?
Well, it's to aid you,
Okay.
really. So,
Get it back up.
because we want you to succeed on this, and if
Yep.
you have to burn momentum to do so.
Feeling emboldened with Pim able to just scramble her way up Dirk like he's a giant tree. And she gets her little armor boots on top of his trapezius muscles. She stands up. And at the same time, they inhale and both let out on the count of 3 a bellow. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, weak hit.
Yeah, that's.
Is that a
that's
+1?
That's a weak hit. That's
Okay.
+3, which is 5, +1 again, which is 6, on top of 10 and 3.
No,
so that's
I
a weak
don't
hit.
aid your roll. You only get momentum.
Pardon me. So a 5, so a weak hit regardless.
Okay, and that was to
Face danger. Yeah.
You succeed but face a troublesome cost. Choose one. Delayed, tired, dispirited, or resources. So wait. Okay, so I'm on top of you.
Yeah.
We're both shouting, and it succeeds. So the bear, obviously skirks back, but let's say that. I mean, what do you want to lose? This is your role. So.
Realizing her, she'd probably rather protect. Maybe perhaps the bear has some cubs in the cave. Perhaps the bear isn't interested anymore at this sight in front of her. The bear begins to retreat back into the cave, but coming up, is curious now at this huge form of Pim and Dirk.
Yeah.
Kind of runs up really kind of stalks up. Excuse me. Toward Pim and Dirk, curious as to, and they're both trying to get as big and imposing as possible. Sniffs around Dirk's satchel, smells something, and takes a chomp out of Dirk's bag and satchel, and rips a bit of it free before sauntering back into the cave, and we suffer -1 supply as a result.
Shoot. I told you not to keep rotten berries on your person.
That's okay. That's all right. We're alive. We have the loot.
God.
We're good. It's those berries. I carry too much berries. You're totally right.
And Pim releases Okoth and just says, actually, she wasn't hanging on to him. She was on your shoulders. But as her feet hit the ground, she goes to Okoth and says, was that worth it for you?
Yeah.
She just scoffs and she's like men, and she tosses her brain and gets back into the caravan.
Yes.
And we are going to undertake a journey again because
we did make progress on that last one.
I think we did.
Waylaid,
yes.
right?
Yep.
Cool.
So we're at 4 out of 10 now.
Why don't you go ahead
And roll on this?
Yeah,
I'm gonna roll on this. I think Pim is feeling like she's taking charge. She's a little let's go. She's tired of this. She's tired of these little boys and their toys, and the fact that it's worth risking the life of her new friend to get a stupid instrument that could have been replaced.
Dirk's sort of looking down at his satchel now, cleanly ripped from a bear's jaws, having just, and he's trying to mend what he can. Oh man.
Yep. All right, here we go.
Dang.
It's a miss. We miss. You are waylaid by a perilous event. Pay the price.
As the wagon begins to finally start rolling again, makes its way down kind of a rough, matted down trail road. The cart beginning to make a lot of noise as it's a traveling band. Okoth, happy to have his lute back in his possession, opens it up, begins strumming a tune, and together he and the rest of Deep Think begins to sing a wonderful song.
Oh.
And as they're doing that, moving forward along the trail, they one second. Sorry, I lost my.
Where's Pay the Price
Yeah.
in the Lodestar?
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
just
yeah.
curious. Do you know where it is?
That's under Fate Move.
Fate moves.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Okay, great.
They are gonna.
Oh.
Yeah, should we just roll on Pay the Price?
Yes.
Okay.
If we're stuck, absolutely.
Cool.
Page 21. That's why. I found it. I found it, everyone. I found it. Great. Yeah, let's roll. Obviously, you can make the most obvious negative outcomes happen or ask the Oracle or roll on the table.
Cool.
Let me just see here. I mean, we also could...
Because I have an idea. It's just like how it's going to happen is...
You should go on your idea then.
Cool.
Yeah.
A merriment accompanying the wagon as it's going. I don't know about that.
Okay.
With a miss, I don't really.
Yeah.
I don't quite know.
Do you have an idea? Because I have one.
Yes, go for it.
Okay, all of a sudden, they thought it was going to be, like I said, a clear day.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden, the clouds are forming, and they're seeing that it is starting to snow. It's September. Obviously, this is very out of the ordinary for not only the Ragged Coast being so close in proximity to the ocean, but for September. It seems very unnatural that it should be snowing, but Pim sort of just like looks out the caravan and says, "How funny! I think it's snowing. Would you look at that?"
Yeah.
And it starts coming down. Snow is falling from the sky at such an alarming and unnatural pace. Starts accumulating in the road. That they have no choice but to stop. The caravan stops. Jor, and then the wind is starting to pick up.
Yeah.
So it's windy, it's blustery. Jor says, grab the stuff and like find cover. And so Pim starts grabbing some things. Dirk also burdens himself with a lot of the instruments and the gear. Jor is busy unhinging Penelope from her reins.
Yes.
But the wind is picking up. It is clear that there is something very unnatural about this maelstrom that is happening.
Yeah.
Where they have stopped, there are some trees, but they are really along this very jagged and haphazardly cut path through the mountains.
Whoa.
And it is becoming increasingly clear there's no place for shelter.
Oh, man.
The snow is coming down. The wind is blowing.
Yeah.
It is a big to-do. And all of a sudden, Penelope starts to get spooked. Jor is holding Penelope by her reins. She is not liking it, and Penelope bolts.
No.
Penelope goes in the other direction.
No.
And Jor, his beloved Penelope, he loves this horse.
Yeah.
Penelope, no! Jor takes off after Penelope as fast as he can.
Yeah.
His bandmates also follow suit. His bandmates leave the things because they don't know where Jor is going. They take off after Jor.
Guys!
Where are you going? And clearly yelling is futile because clearly there is wind, there is snow blowing all around them.
Yeah.
They have, the bandmates have taken their instruments, their beloved instruments, and followed Jor and Penelope.
Yeah.
What do Pim and Dirk do?
In this tempest that came out of nowhere.
Yes, we have the cart.
Yeah.
And we have the path. And we have our belongings.
Yeah.
And the belongings that they left behind.
God. Oh, man, I want to gather information and track and try to follow footprints in the snow to see if Dirk can ascertain where they were headed.
Or, I mean, let's say, because just from what I painted out of my brain, it is a tempest and we need to find shelter.
Okay.
So, given that, I'm not sure we are at liberty to gather information just yet.
Yep.
However, would we want to secure an advantage? We have to like find shelter or gather information to make camp or find shelter. I think finding shelter.
Cool.
We can either choose to follow the band or we can choose to continue on our path and seek shelter.
Yeah, it seems like what you painted, that they're lost, visibility is completely low. We'll have to catch up to them later. So we'll have to gather information to see if there's any sort of shelter we can come across.
Yeah.
With this like whipping maelstrom that came out of nowhere. That's crazy. All right.
You roll plus wits.
Yeah, so that's a strong hit.
Whoa, amazing.
Yeah.
Okay. You discover something helpful or specific. So you do. Take +2 momentum on that. Yo, you are at full momentum.
We're maxed out.
We're maxed out on momentum.
Yes.
All right, what do you see?
Yeah,
since I'll take this if you're
Yeah,
so
go
Pim
for it.
and Dirk visibility is insane. They actually have no idea where the band went.
Sure.
I mean, visibility, you can't even see the hand in front of you.
Deep think.
Come on, come this way. And
Okay.
she takes Dirk. She grabs his hand because the wind is just blustering. They are, they just need to keep going in a direction just to get out of this.
Yeah.
They continue along the path. They leave the cart. Pim makes sure that she has her belongings. She has her weapon. She has her bandolier. Do you have everything?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
He's just holding his pelt over his head. His satchel got ripped to shreds, and his spear is still attached to his back. So, yeah.
Okay, and Pim is able to just keep going. She places her hand along the cliffside.
I'm really cold.
So am I. And they go forth. They keep going past. They start to get really cold. This was a strong hit on gather information to find shelter, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so they keep going, and suddenly they find Pim is able to find a place where a tunnel has been dug to continue the road through this mountain, because obviously the ragged coast is surrounded by a mountain range.
Yeah.
And it would only make sense that since they're going to the deep wilds, they would have to traverse through some mountains. Pim finds the entrance to a tunnel, which she can only assume was dug in order to keep the road going, but it is shelter nonetheless.
Great.
They both put their backs against the wall and let out a deep sigh. That's insane out there. It's September. What? And her teeth are chattering, and she realizes she is very cold.
Right.
They are in this tunnel, and by the gravel of the road, it seems that they're back on the road. This is clearly the continuation of the road, but any hope of meeting back up with the band is futile in this insane tempest.
Crap.
Have you ever seen anything like this in your life?
No.
We're in the south.
No. I don't get much snow anywhere near here.
Has got to be something unnatural, don't you think?
I think so.
Absolutely unbelievable.
I guess the only way out is through, right?
Yeah. And Pim, once again, has her matches. And I'm going to check my gear to see if I have a torch. I'm not sure if I do. And
some sort of makeshift anything to see light.
Yeah, exactly.
Awesome.
I think it's just a yes/no, actually.
Okay.
Yes/no
Cool.
on the oracle. So let's say it's like 50-50 that
Okay.
she has something that she can light up. I'm going to go...
Yeah, you can roll plus supply if you have supply.
Right, great. I will
Yeah.
roll plus supply then.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, awesome. Let's see if I have something with which to light on fire
Yep.
and
Yep.
make a torch. We can. Great.
Yeah.
So I do. She pulls out, some kindling.
Mm-hmm.
She has tucked in for safekeeping. It is a stick with some charcoal fashioned at the end of it.
Yeah.
That will stay lit for some time.
Mm-hmm.
She takes her match, she lights it, and finally they have some lighting in this tunnel. It is a deep tunnel.
Right.
The tunnel is long, so it is very clear that they are passing through the high peaks of the Ragged Coast.
Sure.
Let's say that it is Mount I'm so bad at naming things. I'm so bad at naming things.
That's okay. It's hard.
Mount Solana,
Okay.
which is the highest peak of the Ragged Coast.
Right. It's a beautiful name.
Mount Solana, the road, it took years to construct this tunnel through
Yeah.
Blasting dynamite
Just
through.
writing that down.
And it truly is the only egress out from the southern end of the Ragged Coast. I think this is the way forward. Let's just keep going.
Okay. I feel like, what if everyone from Deep Think is in danger? Can they survive out there in this blizzard?
And Pim just looks back and she sees that the tempest is still raging. And she says, I hope.
Okay.
But you know what? They've got the heart of rock and roll.
That's fair. That's fair. That's enough to get through anything. Okay.
So they continue.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're going to roll and undertake a journey again because this is the next leg.
Okay.
Unless we think they should make camp and take a chill.
I'm down to +2 supply, +4
We're
health.
+2 supply?
Yeah, because that bear attack chomped my bag in half.
Oh no! We have to stop choosing supply as our consequence.
Yeah.
Help!
Yep.
Crap.
Yeah. There's a lot of provisions within Dirk's satchel that got munched on.
Well,
Is this a site? Is this a pass?
I wonder if this is undertake a journey, but as a site.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
It does. Yeah.
Is this a site? I mean, it's a tunnel.
Mm-hmm.
It's a continuation of the road.
Oh, okay.
I don't know
Probably
if this is a site to delve quite yet.
Gotcha.
But it is not well lit.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I don't know. It seems pretty spooky.
And we straight missed our undertake a journey that led to this blizzard. So we still haven't made much progress yet. So we're rolling undertake a journey. Unless we're taking a break in here.
I don't think it's quite noon yet. It's probably a bit past. If
I can keep
I
going.
can't tell from out there, of course. It's completely dark and the wind is picking up. But I'd like to keep going.
Let's do it.
Don't mind. Let's get out of here.
Nope. I don't mind.
The faster, the better.
Okay.
Pim's holding the torch.
Yeah. Pim rolls.
But I rolled the last time.
Okay.
I feel like you should roll on this one.
Got it.
To see how we do.
Got it. Here we go. Here we go.
You know what's interesting?
Mm-hmm.
OOC question.
Yeah.
It's funny. It's like, I feel like though this is a dangerous journey to Boarwood, our straight miss on Undertake a Journey just made it scarier. I feel like this tunnel's kind of scary.
Okay.
We don't up our challenge rank.
I don't think so.
No.
Not midway through.
Okay.
I think we're just interpreting the results of what we've rolled
Correct.
and trying to move forward.
Excellent. Okay. Awesome.
Okay. Feel your way through the dark, big man.
There's a torch. Strong hit?
Strong hit.
Okay.
Strong hit right there.
Okay.
Whew.
So they go, and it's a scary tunnel.
Mm-hmm.
It's very scary. There's some spiders. There's some creepy crawlies.
Challenge
They
rank of
hear-
the tunnel. Scary.
Scary. There's some creepy crawlies, and we don't know how well maintained this tunnel really is. We don't know how long ago they built it. As they're traversing through, they hear small little crumbs of dirt shifting. The mountain seems to be speaking to them.
Settling cracks of the
cracks.
Weak scaffolding that seems to be holding the tunnel together and holding the heavy boulders, holding the mountain back from reclaiming what humanity is forced through it.
Yeah. It's cold. They feel that the maelstrom might still be continuing because, we should mark our progress.
Yeah.
We're at 6 out of 10 now. The maelstrom is continuing because of the sheer chill to the tunnel.
Right.
Also compounded by the fact that there is no sunlight. They reach a bit of a wider cavern that has been dug into this tunnel.
Yep.
Perhaps for the sole reason for adventurers to take a load off and pause their journey. And they're tired at this point. That they've been going for a while. And Pim just plops herself down on the dirt, digs a little bit in order to put her torch in the middle.
Stand it up a little bit. And
the flames are flickering off of the cavern walls and making shadow play. Lighting isn't great. This is a big, nice cavern that has been carved in the middle. And they can't quite see everything around them, which is a little disquieting.
Yeah.
So we reach a waypoint and we either choose one. This is interesting. On Undertake a Journey, you can either mark progress or you can mark progress and take momentum but suffer supply. We don't want to do that.
No, my momentum's already maxed. No.
Great. Okay. So they take a load off.
Yeah.
And they take a break, and we can either decide to make camp here for the day or keep going.
If make camp goes poorly, we suffer supply as a result, I think.
Shoot, we do?
Possibly.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. If weak hit with... Oh, that's only resupply.
Make camp. On a miss, you take no comfort and pay the price.
Yeah, not great.
Yeah.
Or we could try to soldier on.
Let's soldier on.
Yeah, cool.
Let's soldier on because Pim doesn't like the vibes of this place.
Yeah.
Pim goes to Dirk and says, listen, I'm really tired. And I, too, am a little bit heartbroken about her friends. I'm not sure if they made it. I'm not sure what's going on. And
I did, Pim. This heart of rock and roll.
Sure, the heart of rock and roll, but what good is that going to do in a maelstrom?
They're probably using it. They probably made a big flute, and they're using the wind, and they're just like covering up big holes, and they're just jamming right now.
I don't know where that came from. I've never seen anything like that before in my life.
No.
Something
just
strange
elevation
going on.
Differences in, I don't know, changes. Yeah. Some sort of spirit's mad at us.
Yeah.
I can't put it together.
Me neither, but I don't like the vibes of this place, and I think we should keep going.
Vibes.
The vibes. It's not good vibes.
Okay.
I guess I'll roll.
Yeah.
I'll roll on this one.
Do it. Unless you feel confident enough to make a progress roll to reach your destination.
Oh, no.
On 6 on 10.
Definitely not, because then we're like super... Well, I mean, do you want to?
No.
Okay.
No.
Do you want to?
Nope.
You don't want to make a bold choice?
Unless you do. It's
you
not
put the idea in my brain, and I'm a little like...
If you do, then yeah. Hell yeah.
Wait. Reach your destination. Oh, you can score a weak hit.
Mm-hmm.
We're 6 out of 10?
Yeah.
Pim, the character Pim, would want to make that progress roll.
Okay.
Because she hates these vibes.
Got to do it.
But.
Got to do it.
Yeah, let's do it. I just want to do it. I don't know why. I'm feeling lucky.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so Pim says, you know what? I'm sick of it. I am so sick of this. I just want to keep going.
Okay.
And as she says that, her voice echoes through the place, and she feels that her echo comes back to her, but slightly distorted. And that disquiets her even more. She shudders and she says, screw it. And she grabs her bag, she grabs the torch, and she sets off. Roll the challenge dice and compare it to your progress. Here we go. Ready?
Yeah.
Oh boy. That's a miss.
5 and 6?
5 and 6, but we only have a... Oh, it's a weak hit. I'm
Weak hit?
sorry.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Weak hit. So, reach your destination. You arrive but face an unforeseen hazard or complication. Envision what you find. So, Pim sets off. She grabs her torch. She's sick of it.
Yeah.
She goes and they traverse and they finally start seeing the dawning of sunlight, of daylight. And Pim sees this as a sign as she starts to run.
Sure.
She's so excited to
Yeah.
get out of this claustrophobic, scary, bad vibes tunnel.
Yeah.
That has been playing tricks with her mind, especially as she echoed and her echo came back in a way that didn't make her feel great. She starts running and they reach the mouth of the exit of the tunnel.
Yeah.
We rolled progress on reaching Boarwood, which seems too easy, but we reached Boarwood.
Yeah.
Apparently we scored a weak hit on reaching Boarwood, which is awesome.
Yeah.
So
it's great.
So they exit the tunnel. And as they exit the tunnel, they see that the shadow of the mountain is behind them and the maelstrom has calmed. They're on the edge of a forest, of what seems to be a completely different climate from what they're used to on the Ragged Coast. It is lush, it is green, and it is just a couple leagues away from them, the entrance to what seems to be a dense forest full of mysteries.
Yeah.
And Pim gestures to Dirk and says, is that where we're headed?
Yeah. We're close.
And interestingly enough, there's no snow on the ground. There was snow, and Pim sees that, and she says, where's the snow? There was snow back at the other side of the mountain of Solana, but now.
They see, trying to look back, but the peaks are sort of obscuring where there was any sort of cloud cover or anything that would
signify
clue into there was a big blizzard or something.
Yeah. That's awful strange, and it's not cold anymore.
Something's upset. Something's upset with us. I don't know. Do you feel like it was targeted? I don't know. Just dropped right on top of our heads.
And Pim, like a shadow of possibility, passes over Pim's face. But she sort of shakes her head no and denies that. No, I don't think so.
Strange.
And however, we scored a weak hit, which means you arrive but face an unforeseen hazard or complication. Would you like to take that?
Yeah. I'll have to roll on that.
Or make that roll?
Yeah.
You could roll on settlement trouble, you can roll on action and theme.
Absolutely.
You could roll on reveal a danger, which is cool.
Yeah.
I know that's a delve thing, but reveal a danger is kind of fun too.
Yeah, just roll. Interesting.
So let's say that they advance toward the woods,
Yes,
right? Because that
yes.
can only be the right direction. Go ahead.
Pim and Dirk begin to come out of this pass and descend down, and what they see before them is a lush forest, seemingly older than time itself. They see the most, as they begin to look at it and get closer to it, the horizon and everything around them, even though the time of day hasn't changed too much, appears to darken because of how dense the tree and lush the tree cover is as they move forward. And approaching, they begin to move forward and see Dirk kind of walking through. What Pim sees in front of her is just the densest forest she's ever seen, but Dirk seems to be able to walk through it like he is walking down a guided cobblestone street headed toward the nearest shop. Like he just is headed in the direction. And then what Pim begins to recognize is that small cairns are set that Dirk seems to be passing every 200 feet. Every time they walk, there's a small little collection that if you weren't really looking for it, you wouldn't have passed. Small collection of stones, kind of mud, kind of moved up, stone on top, that he's using as like little waypoints. And eventually coming through the brush where a felled tree kind of hangs over the wood, and its gnarled roots begin to crawl around, walks up to kind of where these gnarled roots begin to just make this kind of like archway. Dirk just sort of stands there, and he turns around to Pim. He's like, well, you are about to step into Boarwood.
Wow.
My home.
It's lovely. I mean,
yeah.
I've never seen trees this tall before.
It's beautiful here. It's quite nice. And just there's quite the din of wildlife and nature in what is now just kind of a very dark, overhanging place, even though they're in the middle of the day. Like, not a lot of light is breaking through from all of this old tree cover. And Dirk kind of looks at him and goes, so I haven't been back in a while. So I'm gonna do my best to introduce you to everybody. Just don't be surprised if like there's some prickliness. I don't know.
Yeah, of course. Sure.
Dirk sort of walks his way in through the archway. And what you see in front of you in Boarwood are these kind of as though using the trees themselves as structures, but all the lean-tos and structures, you see these kind of huts made of already old dead wood built into these massive trees.
Like tree houses?
Like kind of tree houses built
tree
in.
Houses?
Yeah, so some are kind of like low-hanging, other tree houses you can kind of follow these thick, huge root structures like they're walkways up, and you Dirk and Pim begin to walk about 25 feet up in elevation before, and you begin to see people, Ironlanders dressed in a manner similar to Dirk, though not quite showing in as much skin as he is. Pelts and just kind of more natural garb. And nobody is like heavily armored in like conventional iron or anything like that. And toward kind of climbing up, bursting out of the first structure, kind of first tree house built into the town of Boarwood, basically.
Yeah.
Probably standing, a figure storms out and makes a beeline right for Dirk, standing about 6 foot tall. You see kind of dark brown hair, but a kind of matching piercing blue eyes. Storms right toward Dirk. And just you hear her say, excuse me, sorry. Let me find this voice really quick. Live for a second. Think you can just waltz right back in here after everything that happened? Think you can just walk right back in after all this time? And a finger just gets jabbed into Dirk's chest. And finally, a rare sight, you're seeing someone stare at him eye to eye. No communication, no nothing. For months, we've heard nothing from you. We were worried sick about you. You left everybody behind. And Dirk's just kind of like, yeah, it's, and just the figure takes a breath and goes, well, welcome back, I guess. Who is this? Who's next to you? And Dirk goes, Pim, this is my sister.
How are ya? What?
And Dirk introduces his sister, whose name I remember from my notes. Totally remember what Dirk's sister
I thought you
is.
introduced Pim as your sister.
No.
Got it.
He's says to introduces Pim to his sister.
Yes. Well, how are ya? I'm gonna role play a little bit while Tyler remembers the name of his sister.
Jerk. Yeah, I mean,
how are ya? My name's Pim, and God, it's just beautiful here. I think your home is quite lovely. Can make one up if you want.
Yeah. And she looks down at Pim, the small figure, and goes, it's nice to meet you. I'm Tessa. Thank you.
Tessa, hi.
We don't get too many outsiders here. Forgive me for being gruff, but this one has been gone for a while. Yeah. Sorry, Tess.
And just where have you been? Honestly.
Went to go look for help, like I said I would.
Yeah, help while it's getting worse.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Right. Well, I brought... Pim's really smart, and she is really crafty in things that I've never seen before, that I know you've never seen before. I'm sorry I haven't been here to help. I'm sure you've been swamped. I'm sure all the Watchers have been swamped, trying to keep Boarwood safe. But somebody had to go and do something.
Well, great. You're here in perfect time because the council is meeting, and you can get briefed on precisely how bad it has gotten. And she turns on her heel and leads them to the council. And
you see Tessa, as she turns, she's wearing kind of a necklace and kind of arm, like bracelets of kind of bits of boar, like tusk, that have been just kind of carved into like almost carved and then like colored with dyes and things like that to show her stature and kind of rank within this group of Watchers that kind of patrols the deep wilds, kind of protects, and it has grown since last Dirk has saw her. As she gets to, and it's kind of just like ornate kind of armbands and necklaces that show just kind of her rank and stature, basically. And she walks off in a huff. Yeah.
And Pim, extremely confused, just follows silently, the two of them.
Sorry about that.
It's all right.
Here we go.
Figure out what's going on.
Climbing even higher, 45 to 50 more feet up, following these root structures that seem to just naturally give them a walkway and a railing, where a huge old tree, a trunk that must be, 40 feet in diameter, opens up into more branches around either side, a structure was built in the center of it. And this is kind of the central building where the council of mystics, healers, and like kind of highest ranking watchers within Boarwood meet, apparently, to kind of talk about what's going on. And Dirk and Pim enter as a meeting is currently underway.
There are some elders clearly sitting in the highest seats, presiding, and also evidenced by their decorations and their adornments on their person. Is there one chief elder? I don't want to like color this too much because I know that this is Dirk's home.
Yeah. There's no chief head. It's just kind of everything is kind of organized together, and things are kind of met on equal footing and talked out, which why things kind of take a little bit longer. There's less decisive action from one person and more just a shared of opinions and courses of action. And you see kind of standing there, arms crossed, is a 6 foot tall woman. Looks a good deal older than the woman who you just saw confront you. But she is standing there, arms crossed, intently listening to what's going on. Beautiful long blonde hair kind of put up in like to some knots and a bit of, not quite a beehive, but whatever. And Dirk kind of nudges Pim. He looks over and goes, "Mom's here." It's Dirk's mother in the council. And it's getting a little tense in there. One of the kind of higher ranking elders kind of chimes in and goes, It's the fourth one within 3 miles of our of the town itself. The numbers are too hard to ignore. It's getting closer. It's the fourth. And he sees, like, as the off to the side, you see on a table a couple of local healers are attending to and kind of doing like an investigative autopsy of an elk carcass that you see is kind of caked in an open wound that appears to be just kind of have this dark tint. It's low light in the hut, so you can't see too much, but they're attending to an elk. And he just kind of, he's gesturing to it, being like, it's the fourth one within a half mile. It's getting closer. Mm-hmm. Something needs to be done. Whatever you're doing, change it.
And Tessa...
I'm pleading you, it's not working.
And Tessa has found a seat. She sits down with her arms crossed, rolls her eyes, and Pim and Dirk take that as we should probably sit down next to her. Yeah. So they do. Mm-hmm. They try to as inconspicuously as possible, but they are, of course, noticed as two new people in this hut. Yeah.
Two new folks sit, and all of a sudden kind of a hush comes over as the two new figures sitting down are noticed by everybody talking. Sorry, did you just say that they were...
Sorry?
I apologize. Did you say that we weren't noticed when we sat down?
Slightly, yeah, we were noticed.
We are noticed.
Yeah.
Okay. Dirk's mom sees that her son is back and just like walks over, kind of leaves. The discussion continues to happen, but she walks over to where the two of them are sat down, and goes, Dirk, oh my gosh, you're back. And she gives him an embrace. And he's like, hey, Mom, good to see you. How's everything going? And just a short embrace, because then she's like, we'll catch up in a second. And then she kind of rejoins the discussion that's happening.
Is that the Overvacher boy? Says the elder who was speaking.
Yeah.
Stand up, child.
Dirk stands up. His head's kind of close to like a lean-to rafter that he's got to kind of duck under.
If my records are accurate, you left us in order to find out more of what we're talking about.
Right. It seems like... Apologies for interrupting. Seems like you're currently in the throes and things haven't improved. I have. I'm sorry for being gone for as long as I was. I don't have much, but I'm trying to learn from someone I think who might be able to help.
Tardy, tardy, tardy. And he tisks and he says, so you have no information for us?
Very limited, but I've seen... And he doesn't want to, like, blow up Pim's spot right now. And he's like, I've been talking to someone who can do things that I've never seen before and kind of strikes me as, like, familiar to this corruption that seems to be spreading.
And Pim has been, like, skulking in her seat, just trying to make herself so inconspicuous, just literally like this.
Yeah.
She's put her tunic up, like, over... because she absolutely does not want to have the attention on her in this moment.
Yeah.
We will talk later.
Yeah.
Now on to someone who can be of actual help in this situation. Jorvath. Mm-hmm. Is Jorvath a name we already did?
Probably not.
Really?
No.
Jorvath,
mm-hmm.
You were saying about this elk.
Everything we've had from the wounds from it's they're getting closer to our hunting grounds, and one of the older mystics pipes up and has been like,
we've been over this for as long as we've been having this argument. You've been encroaching too far and the wilds are upset. It's very clear from our ritual that the wilds are angry.
You're saying this is from the wilds?
No, I'm saying that clearly you've hunted too far, you've taken too much. The wilds demand balance.
And a bit of an argument begins to, like, drum up a little bit, and Dirk and Pim, Dirk looks over at Pim, is like, hey, let's, like, and they decide to slip out as clearly there's a lot of tension that
and division.
There's a division that they don't need to be part of anymore.
Yeah. So one side thinks that it's nature that's upset, and another side thinks there is an actual affliction happening. Mm-hmm. That's so neat.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they go outside of the hut as there is a commotion, and it seems that there might be a recess of this council because such division has broken out, and clearly they're getting nowhere.
Yeah.
They leave, and Pim goes, do you think that we might be able to sit down somewhere?
Yeah, totally.
I need to take this gear off.
And Dirk kind of leads Pim down some root structures, through some brush, some leaves, in front of another lean-to structure, this time that is inside a huge trunk that has been dead for a long time, that has been hollowed out. With a small, like, thatched roof kind of built over the top. Mm-hmm. And he's like, we can push some stuff aside for you in here. And he pushes the door open. Mm-hmm.
Home sweet home.
And the door opens, and Tessa comes in, twirling her hair.
Okay.
And she says, I can't believe that meeting was called. Honestly, I knew that it would devolve into them arguing over each other, and I can't even believe that I wasted my time.
Did you get a word in edgewise tonight?
Absolutely not. They're gonna, like, reconvene tomorrow.
Sure.
And then Dirk's mother also comes in. And it's clear that the meeting is adjourned for the day.
Sure. Mom, how'd it go?
Oh, you know, sweetie, it's a lot of opinions. And while they're taking their time on their opinions, nothing's getting done.
Dirk's mother is a healer and an expert in kind of the more Boarwood, like holistic medicine, and also just a lot of practical stuff as she's a little bit traveled in her time. So she kind of talks to the folks who were recovering these kind of like blighted animals from time to time, and it kind of she's a healer in the town. Basically, that's her station. Tessa is a watcher, like Dirk.
Okay. Tessa has at this point opened up a jar of beef jerky and set it on the counter unceremoniously, offering and slides the jar toward Pim, not saying much to her, but simply just like indicating that she can take some.
Oh, sweet. And Dirk, like before, like
interception. Pim takes some. Thank you kindly. I'm actually really starved. And she eats.
Yeah. I know I've been gone a while, but you guys look great.
I really wish that I could say the same, but honestly, you look like shit.
It's been a long road. It was a long road to get here. I don't even need to bore you with the details of all of it. We ran into like this blizzard out of nowhere.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Does it snow here?
And then
because we ran into a maelstrom and it came out of nowhere, and it seems rather lush here. It doesn't snow here, does it?
No, never. No.
As I suspected. And Pim quiets a little.
But this is Pim. We ran into each other in Trout Nook along the Ragged Coast as I was kind of trying to learn more, basically.
Yeah, what's your deal? Why are you with my brother? And Pim goes, oh, for reasons. Reasons. And I appreciate your hospitality.
And she, Tessa kind of looks at Dirk and kind of like rolls her eyes, and goes like, okay. Sorry.
And Tessa like slams down on the table and she goes, when is the council gonna honestly ask the elves? Because like, I'm sick of it. I'm sick of the fact that like we're reluctant to go talk to them and go like ask them what they think about this, because clearly it's affecting like more settlements than ours. Don't
as
you
if they were so easy. You just grab a courier and say, hey, go grab us some elves.
I don't know.
You know as
I've
better
seen
as
them-
anybody.
I've seen them a couple times.
Have you?
Maybe. I don't know. They're always wearing masks. It's bizarre. But I feel like they're the next step and the council won't hear of it.
Meanwhile, coming back to the table, Dirk's mother.
What's Dirk's mom's name?
Dirk's mom's name is Tava.
Tava. Tava and Tessa.
Yes. And she sits down and goes, enough. That'll be enough for right now. Thank you, both of you. Tessa, yes, we haven't seen Dirk in some time. I would like to just have a pleasant conversation with my son for a second.
Yeah.
Dirk. And Pim, lovely to have you in our home.
Thank you.
Dirk had mentioned in the meeting that he had been talking with someone who might be able to help, who might know some things. I don't know. Did you get to talk to him much about what's been going on, or what do you get into? Are you an expert in a particular field?
Well, and Pim looks at the ceiling and she goes, I know a few things here and there, but I'm rather foggy of what's going on in the deep wilds. Do you mind telling me?
Sure. You know what? Better I show you. She leads Pim and Dirk into kind of the backyard-ish area of where the hollowed-out stump home opens.
And Tessa follows, let's say.
Yeah.
She goes with.
They walk for about 15 or so minutes deeper into the wilds, into a place that has clearly been marked with some brightly colored dye on a couple trees, and marked in a circle in bright red dye is some vegetation that in the center of it, Tava squats down above it, and you see fungi that has taken on this deep grayish iron-like color that has seemed to come from every part of the mushroom. Even in the veins as they reach out are this deep gray, and it looks as though everything, all the life and color has been sapped out, and even more so, it's begun to like grow. The grayness has grown a little bit past where Tava has marked. This is the first kind of isolated spot, the closest I've found toward Boarwood. And we don't know how to stop it. And I've found wildlife suffering from the same thing, whether it's a fungus, whether it's a plant, whether it's a wild rodent, animal. It's this blight, and we're at a loss. Our mystics are at a loss. Coming from a perspective just on observing it, it appears to just hold on to its host, extinguish it, and look for others. I don't know.
And Pim crouches down and looks at the fungus. Doesn't touch it, doesn't dare. But looks at Dirk and says, I might have an idea, but it can't be discussed just out in the open here.
Okay.
We've got to discuss this in private. I feel that the woods have ears.
Well, if it's important and can help us, shouldn't it be brought up, I don't know, an hour ago at the council meeting? I'm sorry. You didn't know. That was earlier.
Tessa doesn't apologize. Tessa's a biatch.
You're right. Yes. I was role-playing Dirk for too long. He was just an absolute
Dirk's
doormat.
very wholesome.
Yeah.
I
Would have been helpful.
understand,
Would have
Tessa,
been
I
helpful an hour ago.
understand. I see that, but we can't discuss it out in the open. I have my reasons for this. And she's thinking of the storm. She's thinking of a lot of things. There clearly is, her brain is moving a mile a minute. And she says, we ought to discuss this undercover.
Okay.
And she, Tava, Tava nods in acknowledgement and leads them back toward Boarwood to find a place where they can discuss things more candidly.
Yeah.
And that is where we will leave off.
The mystery. The game's afoot.
Spooky.
The game is afoot.
That's very exciting. We're going to see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.